What's going on, guys? JT's latest Mustang and automotive news. Today we're going to do a quick drive in the Mustang and talk about, does the car own you or do you own the car? Because I've got some damage already done to the front of the car, and you know what? I've already got damage on the car. It's already damaged. It's got 3,434 miles on the car. So the question becomes, you know, how do you drive a new car and live with the fact that it's going to get rock chips? You know, I paid a lot of money for this car, for a Mustang, right? And they're hard to get. Prices are up. Imagine this. How do you do this? How do you pay $70,000 for a Mustang and then like live with the fact that it's going to get rock chips? And I didn't put any wrapping on it, and I'm daily driving it. It's just going to get beat up and worn out a little bit, right? Okay, here's how I deal with it, and here's how I think it's a very useful way to think about this. The car owns you. Here's how I'm dealing with it. The car owns you. If you don't own, like, who owns the car? If you're worried about it getting rock chips constantly to an obsessive amount. See, here's what happened. On my previous Mustang, I had, by the way, we're just gonna drive in, let's drive in Sport Plus so you guys can hear it a little bit. Hear the exhaust. So basically, on my previous Mustang, the 2015 Mustang GT, look, I had a gated garaged parking spot in Los Angeles. It was covered. It was always in the dark. It was always covered. I could park it like away from everyone else. But I'm telling you, the first week someone still came up and kicked the car right in the door. It was my first new car. Since I was a kid, I wanted to have a Mustang that I could put wax on the paint and it wouldn't, and I could actually rub the wax off, because all the Mustangs I had, my 84 and my 89 and my 90 and my 92, none of those had good paint jobs. You know, I didn't have anything. You know, they were like $2,000 and $3,000 cars. So that's all I had back then, right? So I really just wanted a car that I could put wax on it. So when I got my 2015, I loved it. So I was trying to preserve it so much that I actually curbed the wheels, trying to park it so close to the curb that someone else wouldn't curb the wheels. I did it to myself. And then another time, like I said, I parked it right out in the middle of nowhere, and someone came along at Sherman Oaks Mall in like North Hollywood area, or you know, Glendale, whatever that is, and someone came out and kicked it. Like, or they just jammed open the door. I don't know, it was a really, really low dent. And then someone I had a car cover. Here's how crazy I was. I put a car cover on my car in the garage parking spot, gated, covered garage parking spot, like subterranean style. I still put a car cover on it, and guess what? Since the car cover was on it, the neighbor was trying to get their bike and squeeze their bike through, and they put the brake handle on the side and just drug it down the side. Can you imagine that? So I had learned a lot of lessons from driving that car, because I lost sleep when someone damaged it. I actually even, one day when I was pulling it into because I would try to swing it around and make it perfect and get perfect distance from my neighbor's cars, I actually like hit the wall one day, and I didn't even realize it with like the front of my car. I didn't even realize I scuffed the front. See, when you're in Tennessee, you just wave at people even though you don't know them. Did you catch that? So I even damaged the front end of the car trying to make it perfect. So here's what I'm trying to get at. Here's how I'm dealing with this car. As you saw, it has a rock chip on the front already. Something hit the window. I think it's got a chip right there. I mean, something smashed the window one day on the interstate. I mean, it sounded like it was shattered the whole window. Then I've got rock chips on the side from these Cup 2 tires picking up rocks. Okay, so here's how I'm dealing with it. It's very Buddhist, I know, but anyways, I don't want to use that word, but it's just essentially like, look, the car owns you if you're so attached to the freaking thing that you can't just enjoy the car. The car's meant to be driven. You know, I saw an article on Road and Track where this guy has 725,000 miles on his Porsche 911 Turbo, and it's the air-cooled one. I think it's, you know, the Widowmaker. It's like a 78 or 82. I don't know what it is, but he's got 725,000 miles on it. It's an old guy. He just drives the piss out of it, and you know, that's something that I admire. It's like, yeah, that's what I want to do with this car. I want to just drive the crap out of it and enjoy it. You can't enjoy it if you're trying to hold on to it so tight and preserve it. And that's like your relationships, you know, your friendships or your partnerships, you know, with your romantic part. Like, if you're trying to hold on to that thing, you know, don't cheat on me, don't leave me, all this stuff, like, that doesn't work, man. That's just gonna push the person the other. So same thing with the car, man. It's like, you have to basically, it is what it is. I knew here's what I told myself. The day that I bought the car, I said, this is the nicest, because I'd already been through this experience. The day that you buy the car, that's the nicest and cleanest, and it's gonna have the least amount of scratches, the least amount of dents, the least amount of swirl marks on the paint, the least amount of bird crap that's been dried and you had to rub off of it and scratch the paint even more, the least amount of farts in the seat, the least amount of dirtiness, the scratches. I mean, look, so you have to tell yourself that and then release it and let it go. You have to go, hey, this is as nice as it's ever gonna be. Let's just get that fact straight right now. And then you can move on, and then you can let it go, and then you can go enjoy your car. Because ultimately, I just ended up trading in my 2015 Mustang GT anyways, and giving it off to the dealer, and some kid bought it, right? I traded in for like 29. I guarantee you they sold it for 34, 35 in this market. And then some kids got it, enjoying it. So I made it really nice for this next kid to enjoy, you know, and I hope he is enjoying it. And that's awesome. So, you know, yeah, take care of it for the next owner. But like, ask yourself this, how long did you keep your most recent car that you had? How long did you have it? The most recent car before the car that you have right now, how long did you have it? And for me, it was 7 years. And that's the longest I've owned any cars. And to be honest, I should have sold it earlier and got into an 18, because after driving this 10-speed, I totally just amused myself. People hate on this. I would rather have the 10-speed than the Tremec in this car, because I'm amused to death by the way that this car shifts, and I like playing with the different settings, and it's just easier to drive. And when it's easier to drive, for me, it's more fun to drive. So I'm kind of like, I guess I'm old now, but I mean, I've been driving manual transmission cars since I was 12. My mom had a Probe GT, and I drove that car literally in the Kroger's parking lot when I was 12, and that was a really cool car. But yeah, I stalled it one time, and then after that, I didn't stall it anymore. So basically, I've been driving, I drag race manual transmission car. Anyways, I like an automatic car. I'm to the point where the 10-speed is just so good that I'm just like, heck yeah, I want to drive this automatic 10-speed. So anyways, I digress on that subject. The point is, if you want to really enjoy your car and you're an OCD type of person where you really like to take care of it, take care of it. Like, I just wipe down the dash. By the way, you don't wipe it down with oil, you just wipe it down with a microfiber, completely dry microfiber, just get all the dust off of it, right? Yeah, wash it. I spray it off with soapy hose at the self-service car wash. I get the soap, really thick soap, and then leave the soap on there, and then I take a microfiber and I wash it while the soap's on there and it's wet and it's slippery. And then while the water's still running in the bay, and then I take a wand and I just get the clean, you know, the clear, the rinse, and then I just spray it off, and then I dry it, and then I spray a ceramic, and that's the most efficient, effective way that I know how to do, and only just, you know, spend like 1 hour a week, 1 hour every 2 weeks to just get the bird debris off the top coat and get all that sediments off of the paint. And then look, just, you know, don't drive yourself crazy about trying to park your car out in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, do your best, but you can drive yourself crazy trying to preserve these, and then you don't actually have fun. It's way more fun to just actually listen to this. Light throttle. That's just so amusing to me. that was like 25 to 40% throttle. Like, it's just so fun to drive, man. Like, why aren't you out driving it? Like, if it's not fun, and honestly, the 15 to 17s are great, and if you lower it and do a lot of upgrades, it's probably a lot more fun than I had in mind. But man, that car just felt so clunky. The suspension would shift and bob, and you know, when you're shifting, hit the brakes, it dives. I know springs will fix that, and then probably a nice shifter, and then probably like a tune and some other things would really have helped. But this, oh my gosh, these Cup 2s, I'm telling you, it was 100 degrees out here the other day, and I was mid-corner, feeling like, you know, loading up the suspension, probably like 0.7 Gs, and then I just would jerk the wheel just to see, in the middle of the turn, just to see how it reacts. And I'm telling you, the tires don't lose traction in the car. You can feel the car and suspension kind of bending around the tires. I mean, it's just the most amazing feeling. Like, this car is no joke. 305s on the front, Cup 2s, it's no joke. It is not, it is just a Mustang GT with all these parts on it, but that makes it so special. You really have to drive one with the handling package if you want to know what it's about. So I just want to make this quick video and kind of, you know, my current situation is, yeah, the car's got some rock chips, and I don't give a dang. I don't care. Like, who cares? You know, literally, who cares? In my other car, it would totally drive me crazy. I would lose sleep. And this car, the whole philosophy is to have fun. That's why I moved back to Tennessee, was to have fun, to have a lifestyle, not to just work and worry about everything, you know? So the more you can let go of this kind of stuff, the more free your life becomes. So I just wanted to kind of share that morning motivation with you guys. I've got another channel for business and fitness and motivation stuff. It's just Jake Teasler, and if you guys want to check that out, I post kind of our workout. We're doing a hybrid training, so we're doing powerlifting, bodybuilding, and running. So that's been tough lately, but if you want to check that out, I'll drop the link below, and also share my Instagram if you guys want to follow that. I post like kind of stories and reels and stuff like that. Anyways, if you guys want to see more, just let me know kind of what you guys want to know about the car in particular, and I will post up more videos. But like I said, it's just the most fun car I've ever driven, and I should have bought one. You know, the black Mustang, the 2015 Performance Pack that I had, I just didn't love it. I never loved it, and I just held on to it because, you know, I bought it, and I bought it brand new in Santa Monica, and it was almost like a business. It was almost like, hey, I had started my training business, and here's my car, and this is important to me. You know, this shows that I had done something since I'd been out there in LA. But the reality is, you know, these newer cars, 18 and ups, and if you can get into the performance packages 1 and 2, and then get into the Mach 1 and the 350 and 500s, I mean, they're just special cars. You really just have to drive them to get an understanding of what it's all about. So I recommend you do that, because it's a heck of a lot of fun. All right, guys. I mean, the transmission, even, it's programmed to, the torque converter slips and slides in third. It goes first to third, and you can feel the clutches just kind of like in between, and they've programmed it like that, and it's so fun. It's like it's got a stall. You'll notice it in different drive settings also, like in drag race mode, like light throttle, or the track mode where it's track suspension. You realize, like, it'll have normal suspension, sport plus suspension, and then even track. Like if we go over here to track, yeah, there it was, track. The dash changes, obviously. And then if we look at the my mode, yeah, the track dampers, sport steering, track exhaust. Yeah, it's just different programming. It's not as aggressive. The throttle tip in is not as sensitive, and traction control is off. But this is actually, yeah, so like Sport Plus is more responsive, but when you're on the track, this is a better setting. Anyways, guys, I'm just blabbing now, but I hope you get the opportunity to drive one of these, and let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. And don't let the car own you. You own the car. Get the most out of the car. Get what you want out of the car. If you want to drive it and enjoy it, enjoy it. If you want to keep it as a collector's, then wrap it up in 3M tape and spend, you know, $1,500 on that, and get a ceramic coating for $1,000. And then what else can you do? Like say your prayers at night and make sure no one, you know, bird doesn't crap on it. And I mean, it is what it is, you know, like you can do all that, but man, it's very stressful. And to be honest, you know, it may or may not increase the value of the car. Depends on if you trade it in or if you sell it to a private seller. So to each their own. I understand if you're a private seller, you're gonna keep it. I know everyone says they're gonna keep it for their lifetime, everyone. But look, how many cars have you had since you were 16? There's gonna be like 1% of the people that comment, or 10%, maybe, probably not. You know what I mean? I know the exception is going to be the people who comment, not the... But anyways, just drive your car, man. Go have fun. Just go drive it. Turn the AC on and just go drive it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.